Everyone that knows me knows that I'm a hopeless romantic, and also that my favorite movie is Love Jones. I'm also a child of the 90s where they had intros and interludes throughout the album, and I wanted to reintroduce some of that to my record, hence Prelude. And because I'm a dork, I made sure that it was exactly 1 minute and 43 seconds. So Complicated came from a really real place. I was approaching 30, reevaluating my life. We have this image in our heads of what our life will look like when we turn 30, and mine looked nothing like that. Now, God is faithful in the sense where I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, but that doesn't make it easy. So it was just a little bit of self-evaluation, a little bit of woe is me, and a little bit of optimism in the midst of a storm. So King started out as the interlude after Complicated. Then it just evolved into a full song. I had a verse and a chorus, wrote a second verse, wrote a bridge, rewrote the first verse, and now I have this half trap, half medieval record. And the concept behind it was, I'd do anything for love. So I've been single forever, and I like to recall times when I thought I was in love and write about those emotions. So there was a time when I was in college, on one of the summer breaks, I met this girl and we instantly clicked. Stars were in the sky, it was kismet, it was serendipity, it was everything. But the problem is that she went to school and lived in a different state. And it was one of those situations where it's the right person at the wrong time, and you always wonder what could have been if it was the right time. So the situation came from a real place. So there was a woman I had a crush on, but I didn't say anything. And we would see each other at different events and, around town. So fast forward a couple of years of this, still too much of a punk to say anything. Someone just casually mentions that she has started a life with someone else, and my heart sank. Now, granted, I kept it cool in the meantime because my brain hadn't processed it yet, but throughout the night, I was cursing myself out. And that night, a full song came. So True was written in a space where, I was going through some things in my life, my sister was going through some things in her life, my mother was going through some things in her life, and I just wanted to write a record that would speak to all of our hearts, that in the midst of chaos, as long as we stay true to ourselves, everything will work itself out. It was one of those things where I prayed and it just flowed. I love it when that happens because it's just pen to paper and you're just writing and writing and writing it, and then when you see this completed work and you're just looking at it like, what just happened? So I'm a product of a blended family. I grew up with one sister, in the household, and emotionally I wasn't always there for her. And then I also have two sisters that I didn't grow up with, and I wasn't there physically. So it's kind of speaking to all three of them. The sister that I grew up with, I apologize that I wasn't there emotionally. And on the flip side, with my sisters in Mississippi, I apologize that I wasn't there physically. So even though it was circumstances that were out of my control because I was only a kid and you're dealing with the choices of adults that affect your life, I still want them to know that I've always cared about them and that I always love them. Perfectly Alright was written about 4 years ago, in a space where I was just writing love songs. I wanted it to be ethereal so it feels like a dream, one of those lovey-dovey, mushy, I can't wait until I meet my wife records. Single is a $1 bill, but in a world where there's so much chaos, you can never have too much love. So Prime is a record that started as an interlude called Clarity. Again, nerd, so I decided to put it as track 11. 11 is a prime number. So it came in a place where I just came out of this cloud so clear about life and my role in it. We can always focus on the negative and we just stay in that place, or we can choose to find peace and operate in that. The concept of this entire album came from one song that I wrote about 5 years ago, and it's basically my love letter to the wife that I haven't met yet. It is the quintessential hopeless romantic anthem describing the life that I long for with the woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And it's not to say that you need a person to complete you to make your life whole, because that is ridiculous and you'll never find happiness if that's what you're seeking. But at the same time, it's about longing for the person that complements you and that as a unit, you guys can transform this world. So it's my love letter to my future companion, my future partner, my future wife, my future. So, Letters from a Hopeless Romantic, March 17th. It's 18 months in the making. A lot of energy went into them. Some of these songs are 4, 5, 6 years old. I hope it really touches people, and I hope people get a lot out of it.